Tawnya, you and your husband have two businesses. One is a traditional business, and one is a direct sale business. Could you tell us about your businesses and both of them? Kind of start one within the other, so we can understand exactly that you have multifaceted entrepreneur.
Yeah, and honestly, we've been entrepreneurs since 2001. Entrepreneurship is not new to us. We've owned other companies. Currently, we own two companies. We own a traditional business. It's called Marriage Architects, and we are marriage and relationship coaches. We have been doing marriage and relationship coaching for over a decade. We help couples and individuals get the relationships and the marriages that they would like. And we firmly believe that we're all works in progress. So and our marriage is important, our relationships are important. So we need to continually be working on that. And the other company that we own is called Landis Fitness. And that is through direct sales. I partnered with Team Beachbody 8.5 years ago. And that is our other company. And I have a team of a few thousand people that I work with, and I work with clients as well to help them achieve their goals in health, fitness, wellness, and then there's a business opportunity associated with that as well.
Wow. Did you say a few thousand people?
Yeah, it's actually probably more. It's quite a few over 8.5 years. And with the way direct sales works, it gives you the ability to be able to actually help many people.
Wow.
It expands your capacity.
Wow, I love it. How has COVID-19 impacted the direct sales industry?
For me, I've actually seen quite a significant increase. I'm in health and fitness, and we have a health pandemic going on right now. We have people that are, struggling right now because they really are wanting, to get healthy, because a lot of people that are getting, that are having severe complications, not everyone, but a lot of the people that are having severe complications from COVID-19, we're hearing they have underlying health conditions. And people are like, I need to work on my health and fitness now. I was taking it for granted, those types of things. And then a lot of other people found themselves, at home for the first time in a long time. Life kind of slowed down for them. And they're like, I've been wanting to start a program. I've been wanting to do workouts. And I've been wanting to work on my, on my self-care. I just never made time for it. And now I have the time. And then I also have several other people that are realizing they need a plan B, because their job that they thought was secure is no longer, they're realizing, secure and can be shut down in an instant. So when COVID-19 started, my phone went crazy. So it's, been a privilege to be able to help people right now through this time that they're going through, and give them opportunities to work on their health and, and a business opportunity as well.
Wow. And then giving also the fact that with a lot of challenge being with brick and mortar businesses in terms of physical facilities, everybody kind of went virtual. And so your business lends well in a virtual platform. Wouldn't that say that helped as well?
Yeah, I am pretty much all virtual. I can do in person, and I do on a case-by-case basis, but my clients are all over the US. I work with people in the US, the UK, Canada, and France. So I was already very virtual. Our other business, Marriage Architects, we did have, we had to shut our office down. Luckily, we have an online platform through Marriage Architects. So we had everything in place, because if we wouldn't have had that in place, it would have, our clients wouldn't have been able to get service, and our clients are who are important to us. So fortunately for my husband and I, we are very virtual. So we have that in our toolbox.
Wow. So COVID-19 didn't have much of a negative impact on your business. It's actually had a positive impact, would you say?
Yeah, and it's hard to say that because there's so much suffering going on right now. Yeah. But I also look at it is that I believe that God knew this was he always knows what's coming. And I believe he set us up for, to be able to serve people right now, because the things I've been working with on clients and different, with different people, it's just, it's God. Like, he set us up to be able to help people and equip people with what they need during this pandemic.
Wow. We're talking to Tawnya Landis. She's a business owner with Tawnya Landis 360, as well as marriage architect, does relationship and marriage coaching, as well as health. She has a health and wellness business in direct sale. And she'll be our speaker this year, Nehemiah Week, as you hear her story there. And she'll be talking about how you can get involved in that business opportunity, because we're doing a special track this year on business opportunity. We're featuring Tawnya and three others in this particular space. If you're not yet registered in Nehemiah Week, it will be on August the 10th through the 15th. It'll be a complete digital conference. You can just go to nehemiahweek.com, and there you can register. Make sure you reserve your spot. Now, Tawnya, you and your husband both have gone through biblical entrepreneurship. Tell us a bit about your experience and how that helped you along your journey as an entrepreneur.
Well, 100% transparency. My husband's the one that wanted to do biblical entrepreneurship. We had 3 little kids. I had actually, I was still like had a baby, a toddler, and then a grade schooler. And
it was that long ago. Wow.
Yeah, we took it in 2012. We finished in, I believe it was June of 2012. And so it's really awesome to see the growth since then. But fortunately, the person teaching the course said, you cannot, she told my husband, you really should take this course with your wife. Your wife should be part of this, because so much transformation is going to happen. You want to be in this together. And he was like, my wife, I don't know, because, we have these kids and we don't have childcare. The class was in person. This is before you guys sit online. And she was like, let me talk to her. So she talked me into going. And I love my husband. And I was like, fine, I'll go, but I don't really want to go. I don't understand why I would go. I'm not looking to grow a business right now. I'm taking a break from entrepreneurship. And because
this was before Landis 360, your healthcare business.
Yeah, well, prior to this, we had owned a farmers insurance agency, which I had for 6.5 years, and we also had a real estate company. And I know you're going to ask me about that.
Yeah.
You'll see why I was taking a break. But we had 3 little kids all in a row, and I was like, I'm just, I'm taking a break. And then I went to biblical entrepreneurship, the first night, and I was hooked. And through that, we were praying about where we were going to go next. And I remember praying about it one morning, and God said, I already gave you a gift. Why don't you open it? And I realized the gift that he had given me was the opportunity that I had signed up for with Team Beachbody, but I wasn't taking it seriously and building it as a true business. And he's like, I want you to take that and run with it.
Wow.
And I did.
Tawnya, so at this point, you have just signed up for Beachbody, had not done anything with it. You're making $0 from it, and God speaks to you. So at this point, did you ever imagine that years later you'll have a team of thousands of people?
No, I signed up. I signed up to work on my own journey. And the reason that I signed up for the business opportunity as a coach was because you get a discount on product. And I like a discount. So I got the discount, and my confidence wasn't that great at that point. I felt like life had really knocked me down, and I was still recovering from that. And then I also had all these, I had kids that I was raising, and but God said, go with it. And
so what happens next as God speaks to you? I mean, what did you do?
Well, I would love to say that I hit the ground running, but of course, we get in our own way, right? So I finished out biblical entrepreneurship. And then honestly, what I did is so I'm a businesswoman. I do actually have a degree in business. That's what I went to college for. I'm a strategist by trade, and I put together a strategy and went and I used biblical entrepreneurship principles and I built my business. And by the following year, I was making a very decent income. And within 18 months, I was making over six figures. And I have to say that income disclaimer, full disclaimer, your results income wise are, direct result of hard work. I can't say that can happen for anyone, but for me, I just implemented the strategy and
Wow.
went with it. And
Wow.
it's been a huge blessing for our family. It's what enabled my husband and I just, be able to have like Marriage Architects be another business for us and other opportunities that have come our way because it's given
Wow.
us, you know,
And Tawnya is going to be talking about this opportunity at Nehemiah Week as she's going to try to help others who may want to jump on this opportunity on how to engage with it. Tawnya, I mean, that's an incredible story. Now, you guys actually along the way became major donors to my project. You became a major giver. As a matter of fact, your husband at one point was a major volunteer for my project, and you took care of everything.
yeah.
And so that's incredible. So did you, I mean, you talking about having before low confidence. I mean, how did that impact your confidence?
Obviously it helped it a lot. But I think as, that's where, having like your faith and like having a vision and working towards your vision and taking steps towards that every day, even on the days that you don't feel like it and you don't feel confident, comes into play. But yeah,
Wow.
my husband, it did enable us, it gave us the ability to give and make an impact in all sorts of different areas, which is, what we strive to do as entrepreneurs.
Wow. Wow. Rashida says that's awesome. Rashida Cohen from Washington.
Yes, I love her. Thank you. Hi,
Yeah.
Rashida.
Let me ask you a question that Rashida would ask. And by the way, guys, as you're listening in, watching, if you have questions or comments for Tawnya, please share those. Um, Typically, many women that I coach who are primary breadwinners there's this tension that they face between being a wife and a mother and being the primary breadwinner, and business pulling them from being a wife and a mother. And have you faced that tension? How have you managed it?
Yes, I have definitely faced that tension over the years. As I said before, we have three children. I started my company with Team Beachbody when my children were 1, 3, and 7. They are now 9, 12, and 16. And you go through, here's the deal. I've been a full-time working mom that worked for a corporation. I've been a full-time working mom that worked for a brick and mortar business that I built from the ground up. I've been a full-time mom, stay-at-home mom. And I've been a mom who's been in direct sales as a business owner. And I can tell you one thing, there is guilt with all of them.
Even with a full-time at-home stay-at-home mom.
Oh, yeah, I think that, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was shocked because I thought, the grass is always greener on the other side. And it's not. It's just, and really it's a heart issue and a mind issue and mindset issue. And what I had to do is, because you've walked through this with us, Patrice, with Scott and I, it can really mess with your mind. And that's why it's really important to know your why. What is your mission statement? What is it you're trying to do and what are your priorities? So with my, the people that I coach and I work with, it's not just all health and fitness. It's all around 360 is my belief. It's all the way around every aspect of your life. And what I sit down and do is like, what do you want? Does that match your priorities? What are your top 3 priorities? And, does it match that? And so sometimes I have to bring myself, when I come to that point of like, oh my gosh, I'm not giving my kids enough time. I'm not giving my husband enough time. I'm not giving my clients enough time. I have to remind myself in one person, and, am I living in alignment with my mission and my priorities? And that can really help bring it back to, bring it back to what is actually the truth in this right now. And what are these lies that I'm believing? Because it is impossible. I don't care who tells you, it is impossible to do all the things. Like people come and like, I can't believe how much you do. And it's like, yeah. And they're like, you just do everything. And I'm like, I don't do everything. You get help in certain areas, like, so you have to just remind yourself, like, am I following my mission? Am I living in accordance with my priorities? Am I in alignment? And that will really help bring things back down. But yeah, I wish there was like a magic button where you can just be like, okay, turn off, but there's not. I think as moms, it's, like I adore my children, but for me, I also am called to, to have a business, and my kids have watched me build this business from the ground up. And it's actually, now that they're, like I have a teenager, it's really cool to get like their perspective, like especially my son, as he's watched me build this company over the years, and my girls too.
Wow. Among all the folks that I coach, Tawnya, you are one of the ones that I love so much, because you're such a follow through gal. I mean, she's a doer, and you like low maintenance. I mean, you meet with Tawnya and, and she just get it done. I mean, you like low maintenance. So it's just awesome to watch. I'm so proud of you. Tawnya, we want to know a little more about your experience on BE, and I want to get into some other parts. But somebody's watching right now and listening. They want to get in contact with you personally, because they're saying, I want to jump on that. I mean, I want what she got. I want that. How did they get in touch with you?
Yeah, well, I'm on all the, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. My name, if you can see it, is spelled a little bit different than the traditional way you spell Tawnya. It's Tawnya, last name Landis, Landis. And you can contact me on any of those channels, or email me at landisfitness@gmail.com. And that's if you want, if you want to know more about marriage architects and how to level up your marriage. If you want to know more about the Team Beachbody opportunity, like message me. If you have a question, just message me. I'm an open book. I love helping people. So yeah, landisfitness@gmail.com. Just shoot me over an email. But I'm the only Tawnya Landis on Facebook and Instagram with that spelling. So easy.
Easy one. And you also do a podcast. You have tell them about some of the stuff you do that they can, a different resource you have that they may take advantage of.
Yeah, I do. So I have a podcast. It's Triumphant with Tawnya, and it's on Apple. It's on Stitcher. You can download it. And I've got, different podcasts on there if you want to listen to those. I do a lot on mindset and attitude, because I believe everything starts with that. And if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't work on the inside, then, it's going to cause you problems. And also, my husband and I have a online platform, and it is, you can go on there and take our courses. And I have for any of you that are watching this, I'll give you free access to my 7-day course on health and fitness if you want to check it out and test out our online platform. And then we've got courses on there for relationships. My husband has, if you want to get in alignment, my husband is like the most amazing at that, and he's got a whole course on that on there as well. And that's you can email me and I'll give you a sneak peek at that.
I love it. And Tawnya, she does drink the same sauce that she cooks.
Yes.
Because I know her personally, and let me tell you something. She's not a quitter. She's not a whiner. She's not a blamer. She owns her stuff and she presses through with it. So So she'd be amazing. I mean, because you come alongside women and women entrepreneurs who either want to become healthy and well or who want to deal with their businesses, right? I mean, that's kind of what you do, right?
Yes, I help raise up female entrepreneurs. I believe it's my calling. I believe that if I help them build up their platform, I help them feel good inside and out. And then they can go out and walk in their purpose, which in turn is how they can help, a multitude of people.
Wow, awesome. A little testimony. I know that my wife Gina has struggled with staying the course with her fitness, and then one day she reached out to Tawnya, and I'm not sure what you did, Tawnya, but since then she's been on it, so it
Yeah,
worked.
I love Gina. So awesome. She's so fun to work with. Yeah.
Wow. So we have a satisfied customer in this home. So Rashida asked a question, Tawnya. She says, "I know you and Scott do great with date nights. Do you put time on your schedule for your children daily or weekly?"
Yes. Well, pre-pandemic, most definitely, because we had sports and school schedules. And so I had to, because, like their schedules are just all over the board with my oldest is an athlete. And so we had to schedule it. And now we are very intentional about scheduling it. Our kids they're all like really into quality time. So we do make time for that. But I will say it's often the things, like riding in the car with us. Like if I am going somewhere, I'll grab one kid, put them in the car with me, and I turn the radio off, I turn the music off, I don't get on a phone call, and I let them talk. And I can tell you some of the most incredible conversations that I've had with all three of my children have happened while driving in the car. And so I make a point to take somebody. I mean, it's a little harder right now because a lot of stuff isn't open, but I make a point to get them in the car, especially if you have a son, that's where they're going to talk to you, but girls too. And they're also not fighting the other child for attention because it's just the two of us in there. So I would encourage finding those little, a lot of times we think that it has to be like this big ta-da for a date. We're going to go spend a couple $100 on a shopping trip or go do like a ice cream or things like that. And those are all good things. But a lot of times it can be as simple as just riding in the car with you and getting, sometimes even my husband will take like our daughter on a drive and she talks and it's just an incredible bonding experience. And but you got to make sure to turn the radio off. Don't get on the phone. Don't be listening to anything else. Just be attentive and let your child talk to you.
Oh wow, awesome, good advice. So Tawnya, you and your husband, as I said earlier, you guys went through BE, and you've also been through our coaching program. You were on it, I kind of got you derailed, but how has that impacted you guys from a business standpoint?
Well, it's what our business is built on. Our business is built on biblical entrepreneurship principles. When we were in business prior, we always said, God is the CEO of our business. But what does that really mean? I mean, we're Christian, we go to church, we're going to Bible study. But what does it really mean? And when you say, when we were saying God is our CEO, we didn't have like a manual. And I feel like BE really gave us that manual that we were looking for. As I said before, I have a business degree. I've, been a business owner since 2001, various businesses. And until BE, I didn't have that solid game plan, that solid, manual for business that actually would help me align to biblical principles. And so for us, it was like an awakening. It was an awakening in our spirit and our soul and really helped us walk in our purpose.
Oh, I love that. And I have a book coming out. Have I sent you my book for endorsement yet? Did I send it?
Not yet, but I cannot wait to read it.
Oh my goodness, I got to send it to you. So Tawnya, life in business for you have not always been a cakewalk. You guys have had your trials. You had, we call it in biblical entrepreneurship wilderness experience. Tell us about that season. It was 2008 crisis. You were in real estate, and tell us about that and how you guys navigated through it.
Yeah, so we definitely had a wilderness period. It lasted quite a while. We had been successful entrepreneurs. Like I stated before, we had an insurance agency. It was very successful. And we started dabbling in real estate, investing, had quite the portfolio, did really well, helped other helped other people with real estate investing. It was going really well. And then all of a sudden, the crash happened. Well, we kind of started feeling it, and we did all the things we thought you were supposed to do and had the savings. Well, that went real fast. And we had also during that time, I gave birth to our second child, Allie, and she had significant health issues. So here we were with this real estate crash coming, and our daughter was born in February of 2008. And at that point, we're trying to save everything. We're trying to make good on everything, that we promised, pay all the bills. But at the end of the day, we were stretched so thin, and our daughter's life was on the line. And really the priority for me at that point became making sure that my daughter lived and paying for the medical care that she needed, which we actually weren't always able to pay for. Insurance is supposed to be there when we need it, but guess what? It wasn't when we needed it. And for medical, it ran out real quick. And so that started our wilderness period that started in 2008, and it lasted a while.
Wow. And then out of this, you then later on discovered this fitness that you're doing now, which became a key anchor for you. It's funny how Cherie, which will be speaking with you at Nehemiah Week, she had a similar story where it was direct sale that kind of got her out. Is that a coincidence? I mean, is it a norm, or is it typical that direct sale kind of end up being that thing that helps many people out when they're really down and out? Have you found that to be a norm, or is this a kind of unique situation with both of you guys?
I don't feel it's unique. I feel that it's an opportunity, and for those that use it wisely, it can definitely be your way out. Because for me, going back to work with a sick child, and then I had another child, so I had 3 kids, daycare, and then also one of our kids had an illness. Going back in and building a brick and mortar business, which I had done before, that's blood, sweat, and tears, and you need capital. And and that wasn't something that I was able to do at that point in my life. And going and getting a job, which I actually, interesting story, at the time that I decided to go all in with Beachbody and I was in BE, I was offered a very lucrative position back in corporate. And I'll be 100% transparent. I get job offers quite often because I do have, I am marketable in that area, but I know what I'd be giving up going back into corporate, and I wasn't willing to do that. And with direct sales, it enabled me to have the freedom to raise my children, to have the freedom to be at home with them while building a business and helping other women do the same.
Wow. In business, in BE, we call that the opportunity cost, and really, you really calculated that. So you mentioned something interesting, that part of the reason why direct sale is such a good opportunity for those who are in those kind of situations, because of the low cost of engagement, right?
Yeah.
And the barrier of entry. And oftentimes people who are really down and out do not have the capital. Or in some cases, they're women who can't afford to leave their children. So that kind of creates that combination. So was it tough for you shifting mindset? Because, when you think of direct sale, it's not exactly a sexy thing, right? I mean, particularly in the Christian community, right? Many people look down on it or look at it as a gimmick or whatever. So talk about mindset for a little bit. You're a traditional entrepreneur, and all of a sudden there's this direct sale, which traditional entrepreneurs tend to look down upon it. How was your mindset, and how did you work around it?
It's interesting because you can always let those negative voices get to you. And I poo-pooed on direct sales before because, everybody hears about those negative stories, right? But when I looked at the opportunity and I looked at what other people were doing, like the person that brought me in, that offered me the opportunity, we were strangers. And I feel like she was placed in my life at the right moment. It was a God moment. She started talking to me, and it's what I needed. And I was in a wilderness period, and she gave me a rope to climb my way out. And I looked at the opportunity because I am a businesswoman. So I do look at opportunities. I do read all the things and I strategize. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? Why not me? And I said, why not give it a try? And I'm really glad that I did, because it's given me freedom to live my life by design and live, be able to be home more with the kids, where when and I believe in brick and mortar business. I believe in traditional business as well. I believe in all of it. But I also believe it's very short-sighted to not look fully at an opportunity and investigate it before making a decision, or making a decision based off of like someone else's experience that maybe was just, who knows what really happened in that. If you've never tried it, take a look at it. And I also think partnering, like I vetted the company that I'm with. I really respect them, and that's why I decided to partner with them. I respect their mission. I looked at their mission statement, and they live in alignment. They do business in alignment with their mission statement, and that's what I wanted. And our CEO is still in the trenches with us. And I think that speaks volumes for our business. And during this pandemic, he has not stopped. He has been there. He's been there for us. He's been there for all the customers, and he shows up.
Wow. I love it. Again, Tawnya will be speaking at Nehemiah Week. She'll be sharing this particular opportunity and as others will sharing other opportunities in an attempt to help those of you who are looking for something at a low barrier of entry to consider as you look to find your way into financial health and wellness. One of the things why we felt that having a business opportunity track, not just for Nehemiah Week, but also as part of our business forum in the e-community, is because we do want to help those individuals who find themselves where Tawnya found herself, or where Cherie found herself, and they can't do the brick and mortar business, so that they have opportunity. We vetted, we tested with people that we trust and love, that they can guide them along the way. So Tawnya, do a little commercial for me. So I'm watching this podcast, and I'm kind of interested because I hear Tanya's story, sounds credible, and she's really inspiring me. And I want to come to Nehemiah Week. So why should they come? Do a little, help me a bit to get them to why should they come? What's your pitch as to why they should come?
Well, for Nehemiah Week, you gotta go. Like, I am somebody that invests lots of money in different conferences. I invest in training. I believe, I've been to some of the top training in the United States. I've been to trainings overseas in Europe, in Greece, all over the world. And Nehemiah is one of my top ones to go to. So if you're not going and you are in entrepreneurship, you're really missing out. And so I would highly suggest going. My husband, the first year, remember, we were in a wilderness period. He didn't have the money to go to Nehemiah Week, and we made it happen. And he had to go to Florida from Oregon. And I'm so grateful that we did that, because that inspired our other company. And had he not done that, he may have missed out on that. So definitely go. Again, I'm proof. Like, I started a business, wasn't really doing much with it. It was just a little hobby. And then through like BE, if you haven't taken BE, please take BE. It is a game changer. It was a game changer for me, and it's been a game changer for my husband, and everyone that I referred through it. It has impacted their life and their business positively. So I highly recommend that as well. But if you're, wanting to continue to grow, if you're wanting to make an impact, if you're wanting to leave a legacy, you need to be at Nehemiah Week. There's no question about it. And it's virtual, so there's no excuse. Like, you can just do it online. You don't have to do a hotel. You don't have to travel. Just do it online. So there's no excuse.
Wow, amen to that. So what can they expect during your session? So they want to make sure they come to Thailand. So what can they expect?
You can expect to learn about how to get into the business that, with my business, and have it give you freedom of time. Freedom of time, freedom of finances, freedom to go after your dreams. That's what I've used this opportunity to do. I retired my husband from his corporate job, which enabled him to go out and do what he, our other companies. My husband actually owns multiple companies, by the way. And it's given us that freedom. It gave us the freedom to travel. It doesn't happen overnight. That's the other thing you need to realize, is that it takes work, and it takes time. It takes, an investment, but it is so worth it. And I'll be, talking about that and giving you some actionable tips that you can take and run with.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love the idea of freedom. And
Yeah.
did you hear what she said? She retired her husband. So Rashida, did you hear that? So Rashida, if Marlon is listening, you need to retire Marlon. Wouldn't he like that? so
My husband didn't stay retired. He retired from corporate, and then he went, and it just let him live. He retired for like a day, and then he's out there, impacting lives as well through his companies.
Well, that's kingdom, right? You retired him from doing what he had to do what he really wanted to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. As a matter of fact, one of the things we teach in BE is this whole idea of the purpose of wealth, that the purpose of wealth is to give us freedom to worship God through our time, talents, and treasure. And with that, this week, I believe on Thursday, we have seminars on the purpose of wealth. So if you're not signed up for that seminar, we still have spots. Go to our website, NehemiahEntrepreneurship.com, NehemiahEntrepreneurship.com. NehemiahEcommunity.com, NehemiahEcommunity.com, and there you can sign up for this upcoming seminar. Now, Tawnya, so give us a bit about a success story, somebody who you've worked with, because obviously people are watching and listening. I mean, you're poised, you're educated, you're beautiful, you're articulate, and people say, well, Tawnya, you're kind of a unique breed. I mean, you're like a rock star. Of course you're going to succeed. I don't even believe you were ever discouraged, So tell us somebody else that you come alongside, that you work with, that today is successful and that tell us about, you don't have to use their name, so that we know that this is not just unique to Tawnya Landis.
So I also encourage you to go back. Like, if you look at my social media, you can see my before photo. I just posted it the other day. And you can see because when you go through a wilderness period, anyone that's been through it, it knocks you on your booty. And I got knocked on my booty, and just when I didn't think I could get knocked down any farther, I got knocked down farther and farther. And it, pretty much was at a rock bottom, not taking care of myself, just completely down and out with life at that point. And this, was opportunity that helped me. Again, it did not happen overnight, but it gave me that spark to dream again, that spark of life. So don't ever assume just because you see someone's after that's how they've started. I've been in this for 8.5 years. Now, I've worked with several women. I work with a lot of women from all different walks of life. I work with doctors, nurses, teachers, police officers, stay-at-home moms, people that work in corporate, people that work part-time. And I have lots of success stories that I could share with you, but I'm going to share the most recent one, the one that's, happened through this pandemic, the one that's really on my heart right now. And there is a coach on my team, and she, she does well. Like, she's very, she's great. But I knew that she wanted to, make this more. She has a full-time job. She's a wife and a mother. She's very busy. She's gotten great, she's getting great results on her own personal fitness journey. And she really, I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, what is it that you want? And she was like, I really would like more time to spend at home with my son and my husband. They're my why. I've been working for a company for quite a few years. And like, even during this pandemic, there's still like, my son isn't at school, so I don't have childcare. The childcare is closed down. I'm struggling to find childcare for him. My husband's working too. And I really like, my job is still wanting me to go out, and then there's a pandemic going on. And she was just, kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, all right, well, what are you making at your job? And let's figure out how we can do that in the business, because strategy, right? It's all about strategy. And she was like, okay. And so we came up with a plan. I've been mentoring her, and she hit her goal, and she actually just put in notice at her job. And not only that, here's the most important part that people need to understand, is that she brought on other women that are doing the same thing. She has another woman on her team whom I've spoken with, and we've worked together with, because this is a team. This isn't like we're all like, as a business owner in entrepreneurship, a lot of times you can feel isolated. In this business, I don't want anyone to feel that way. Lean into the team. We're a team. And so this other woman that gets on the phone, and I'm talking to her, and she's like, I'm like, what's your dream? And she's like, well, I'd really like to move out of the neighborhood I'm living in. It's not safe for my kids. Like, there's violence going on. I want to move. I need to do this. And she has boys, and one of her sons, somebody drove by, and pointed a gun at him. It's in, I'm not going to say what state it's in, but it was really scary, obviously. And she's an amazing person, an amazing mother. And so through this, she was, she's moving zip codes. And I just think that that's the power in this. And, whether it's somebody that just wants to feel better about themselves, maybe make a little extra income to, pay for some extra bills that you have going on, or you want to make it, like my girl that just did, where she's leaving her job. That's the power of this business. You wouldn't be able to build a brick and mortar business while working a full-time 40 to 50-hour work week and raising babies. It's really hard to do. And not lose your mind. But that's where the direct sales can come in. But I do have to say, because Team Beachbody is a legitimate company, and I do need to read the income disclaimer, because I don't want anything coming back on me. Team Beachbody is not guaranteeing any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coaching opportunity. It is really dependent on each person's own efforts. But I will say, you put in the work, and you can get great results. I can't guarantee things, but I'm proof. I've got lots of proof on my team. So Cherie's proof. So
Wow. That is an incredible story. Powerful. Again, we're coming to close here with Tawnya Landis. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm sure enough inspired. Tawnya, normally women always want to show their pictures at their best, but you have your before and after picture publicly.
Yeah, I do, because people need to relate. I also don't filter on like in terms of like, if you go to my stories and things like that, you can see me actually working out and doing different things. And I'm not, I had a couple comments from people like, oh, you should fix your lighting. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not me. Like, I'm showing like really authentic here, and I'm not going to be the person to have the perfect lighting. If you're looking for perfection, probably not the girl for you. But if you want an authentic, transparent woman who isn't going to compete with you, but is going to challenge you in your dreams and goals, then that's me.
I love it. Why would you? This is incredible. Shoot, if I was a woman, I'll sign up.
I see you guys too. I do have men on my team, and my husband actually runs a group and everything. So if you're a guy and you're like, this is a great opportunity, please reach out. I do have men on my team.
Oh, do the men
So,
do the men look like you look?
oh, everybody like has their own thing going on, but yeah, some of the guys are like, and my husband, he's running a guys group right now, and they're getting great results.
Oh,
And
love it. Love it. Love it. So Tawnya, how do they get in touch with you again? Please give them how do they get in touch with you?
just look me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TAWNYA, Landis, LANDIS. You can email me. That's the easiest way, landisfitness@gmail.com. I have a website. I'm on all the channels, whether you want to find out more about Team Beachbody and if you just want to work on your health and fitness and mindset, you can contact me. I love doing that work. If you want the business opportunity to, contact me. If you want to work on your marriage, we've got marriage architects. And like I said, we've got that really awesome online platform that our clients are loving. And I'll give you a sneak peek to it. But just email me.
That is incredible. Tawnya will be speaking for us at Nehemiah Week this year, August the 10th through the 15th. She'll be one of our speakers, and will talk with you about how you can also be a part of her team in helping to find freedom, so that you might do the things that you really want to do. Who knows? You may be like one of those examples she just shared. Again, it's not a guarantee, but what do you have to lose, right? Tawnya, many folks are listening and watching this podcast from around the world, and as you know, the entire world has been impacted by this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and you've been through a crisis, and this is a crisis.
Yes.
What advice? And by the way, Tawnya, I'm going to have you come back out of certain with your husband. It'd be good to hear the marriage story and kind of see you guys navigate through that. That'd be fun to watch. But what advice would you give entrepreneurs who are watching right now? They're inspired by you and they're saying, Tawnya, what guidance can you give us right now that we can walk away with and begin to see difference in our lives? What advice would you give them?
I would say you gotta work on your mindset, and you gotta show up. It's easy to show up in the good times, but you gotta show up in the bad times. Like, people, you don't realize how important it is, and how much, I know there's a pandemic going on. I know there's so much uncertainty. I've been through, I'm not immune to it, even though our business is doing well. Like, we have personal challenges with the kids being home. It looks a lot different for our family. And I have a lot of people I'm working with that are truly going through suffering right now, which is really hard. But having survived my own personal wilderness period where I felt like I didn't know what to do, I had to get up. I had to stand up, and I had to keep moving, because if you don't keep moving, you're just going to be stuck in that, and it's going to consume you. So right now, as entrepreneurs, we are leaders, and there's a lot going on in the world. And I truly, believe we can make an impact through through what we do, because obviously it's not happening through the politics right now. And as I believe that the marketplace can make a difference, and that it is our duty as entrepreneurs to show up authentically, be the light for others, help people. But through that, you also need to be working on your own self, which is also why you should watch the Nehemiah podcast, go to Nehemiah Week, because people are going to remember who showed up during this time. I'm remembering the people that are sending out emails and how businesses are responding. And I've seen the way others businesses have responded. And it's actually determining who I'll do business with, to be 100% transparent. So make sure that you're one of those entrepreneurs that is showing up with integrity, showing up with light, and showing up with solutions for people.
Wow. What an incredible story. Tawnya, first of all, thank you for being obedient to the Lord. Thank you for your support of the Nehemiah Project. And thank you for modeling for every other person to model. Again, Tawnya Landis, everybody. She will be at Nehemiah Week, August 10th through the 15th. And she'll be doing a breakout on helping you find freedom through the business opportunity she does around health and wellness. This is not just for gals. Men, you are also invited to be a part. Just go to NehemiahWeek.com, NehemiahWeek.com. There you can sign up and register and join us at the upcoming conference. Don't leave yet because I have a few words for you guys, and then there's a video that's going to come up about Nehemiah Week that I want you to check out before you leave. Having said that, if you want us to come alongside you, work with you through training, coaching, and access to capital, in helping you build your business, or connect you with folks like Tawnya, who have businesses that are unable to walk along and mentor you into business opportunities, go to NehemiahEcommunity.com, NehemiahEcommunity.com. There, you can find out how to connect with us so we can join the community so that together we can transform the world. Having said that, let me leave you with this. Tawnya, would you come back? Are you going to come back?
Yeah, absolutely. Always, Patrice. And I just want to thank you and, for the vision that you and Gina had for Nehemiah and what you've put out, because without that, like I said, biblical entrepreneurship was a game changer for our family. And we, I don't believe that we would have been able to do this without that. I had this opportunity in my lap, and through BE, I realized how to harness this opportunity and how to get it out there. And I just really appreciate you. I appreciate Gina. I appreciate your team and all that you guys do. So thank you.
You're welcome. We appreciate you as well. Thank you so much, Tawnya. Having said that, let me leave you guys with this. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enable you to steward those talents that He's placed on the inside of you, the same way Tawnya has done hers. And may you do them in such a way that one day you can hear those wonderful words, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things." Well, guess what? He'll now make you rule over much. God bless you. Don't you leave. Watch this video. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tawnya.
Thank you.
Nehemiah Week is an annual event designed to equip entrepreneurs and leaders from around the world to inspire and to honor marketplace leaders for their accomplishments and what they're doing to model Christ in the marketplace.
God is doing incredible things at Nehemiah Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, God has called us to be a light for Him, to be an example for Him, to be a model for Him, so that as others see us, not hear us, but see us, they can see a model of Christ.
Yeah, each year at Nehemiah Week, we gather the nations.
Our vision is to transform the marketplace with the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, one entrepreneur at a time.
We have learned to do business in a godly way. I will actually spread this to our church as well.
Through the course of Nehemiah Week includes information around principles of biblical entrepreneurship, so really looking at biblical economics.
What we've learned this week is about training. Nehemiah project is about training and then coaching and then accessing capital.
Nehemiah gave me a godly vision. Really impacts the way that I see doing business.
Nehemiah Week not only gives birth to new ideas, it connects us with resources and relationships that makes them possible.
So what we want to do is not just affect here in the U.S. We want to take this curriculum all over the world.
Whatever it is, the question is, what impact will this have on others?
It's something that's going to change lives. So I'm ready to use whatever I have for the benefit of the kingdom of God.
I believe that the nations are going to shake because of this week. Biblical entrepreneurship takes a stand to say we are going to be witnesses for Jesus Christ in the marketplace.